Deep within the heart of Romania, there lies a forest that many dare not enter, known as Hoya Forest. This isn't just any stretch of trees. It's a place shrouded in fear, mystery, and downright terror. For centuries, locals have whispered of its eerie phenomena, warning of the strange happenings that have plagued anyone foolish enough to venture too far. What is it about Hoya Forest that inspires such fear? Is it the spirits of those long gone? Or is it something far more sinister, waiting in the shadows? Stay with me as we descend into the terrifying tale of the phantom footsteps of Hoya Forest. Welcome to the Nightside Archive, where we bring stories that will chill you to the bone. Prepare yourself. This is one you won't forget. Hoya Forest, often dubbed the Bermuda Triangle of Romania, stretches over 729 acres near the city of Cluj-Napoca. But don't let its picturesque exterior fool you. Step inside, and you'll find a macabre world unlike any other. The name itself, Hoya, harks back to a legend of a young shepherd who disappeared without a trace while watching over his flock. The villagers searched endlessly, but found no sign of him or his sheep. From that day on, the forest became synonymous with unexplained disappearances. Let me tell you about one of the most infamous incidents that still haunts the region to this day. It was in 1968, when a military technician named Emil Bara decided to escape the hustle and bustle of modern life and embarked on a journey deep into the forest. Accompanied by a few friends, Emil thought he was in for a weekend of relaxation. But relaxation was the last thing they found. As the group ventured further into the dense forest, they began hearing what sounded like footsteps trailing them. At first, they chalked it up to their imaginations. But the sounds followed them, soft yet deliberate. Emil, a skeptic, ignored the warnings from his more superstitious friends. It wasn't until night fell that things took an unsettling turn. In the stillness of the forest, a silence so intense it buzzes in your ears, they began seeing strange orbs of light floating between the trees. These weren't fireflies or any simple natural phenomena. They were glowing spheres, pulsating and shifting as if alive. Emil, ever the rational thinker, decided to snap photographs of these lights. He insisted they must have had a reasonable explanation, perhaps swamp gas or an unusual atmospheric condition. But when he developed the photos, the glowing orbs were bright and distinct, defying every logical explanation, even more chilling. Footsteps in the soil near their camp that none of them had made. Emil's photos became infamous, first in Romania and then across the globe. Paranormal researchers discussed and debated them for years. We're not just talking about blurry, unconvincing images here. They were crisp enough to send shivers down your spine. This wasn't the first time, though, that Hoya Forest had demonstrated its supernatural tendencies. Emil's story joins a myriad of accounts involving strange lights, unsettling sounds, and physical encounters with unseen forces. Another bone-chilling tale speaks of the clearing of madness, an almost perfect circle within the forest that many consider the epicenter of its supernatural phenomena. This spot is barren, with no explanation as to why no vegetation grows there. Scientists have tested soil samples, but none of their findings can account for the lifelessness of this patch. Locals have long believed it to be cursed, a portal, perhaps, to another dimension. Time after time, visitors to the clearing report a sense of unease. People describe sudden nausea, dizziness, intense feelings of being watched, or inexplicable panic. Some claim that time itself seems to warp, with clocks stopping or spinning erratically. Ever heard of time loss syndrome? Multiple eyewitnesses alleged that they entered the clearing, experienced what seemed like mere moments, only to discover hours had passed when they stepped away. Perhaps the most notorious story involved a young girl who vanished within the forest one summer afternoon. Her parents, inconsolable, organized a massive search effort. Days turned into weeks, and hope seemed lost until 5 years later, she reappeared near the clearing, wearing the exact same clothes, untouched by time. To this day, she has no recollection of where she was or how she survived. And it's not just humans that fall victim to Hoya Forest. Animals seem to know that something isn't right here. Locals report their pets becoming utterly paralyzed with fear near the forest boundaries. Birds refuse to sing. The usual symphony of forest life is absent, replaced by an eerie silence that is downright unnerving. This silence, it presses against your eardrums, leaving you breathless. While some encounter terrifying apparitions, shadowy figures darting among the trees, others claim to hear disembodied whispers or even their own names being called. Historical findings add yet another sinister layer. Archaeologists have uncovered ancient ruins within the forest that date back to Romania's Dacian period over 2,000 years ago. These structures remain unexplained. No one knows who built them or what they were for, but their presence raises questions about whether the forest has long been a realm where our world and the unknown overlap. Skeptics, of course, try to rationalize these occurrences. Some suggest electromagnetic fields may explain some of the strange lights or disorienting effects experienced in the clearing. Others argue that peculiar seismic waves could trigger feelings of unease or even hallucinations, but science offers only a partial answer. It cannot fully account for the deeply unsettling phenomena, nor the consistent reports by hundreds of witnesses. When faced with Emil Bara's inexplicable photos or the chilling return of the lost girl, skepticism only goes so far. In recent years, Hoya Forest has become a hotspot for thrill-seekers and paranormal enthusiasts, with guided night tours for those brave or foolhardy enough to venture in. Some leave exhilarated, others in tears, claiming to have seen or felt things impossible to explain. It's hard to determine whether these people encounter genuine phenomena or merely fall prey to the psychological weight of the forest's reputation. But one thing is clear: Hoya Forest is no ordinary woodland. Some experts believe, and I'm not saying they're wrong, that such energetically charged places act as thin spots where the barriers between realms are weaker. If that's true, then Hoya Forest could very well be one of the most haunted and enigmatic places on Earth. What do you think? Can science strip away all the layers of fear and lore that shroud this place in mystery? Or are some things better left unexplained? For those curious enough to test the legend, remember one thing: Hoya Forest is not just a destination. It is, and perhaps always will be, a chilling reminder of how little we truly understand about the world around us. So if you ever hear footsteps behind you while walking among those shadowy trees, you've been warned. You may not be alone. Thank you for joining me on this twisted journey into the heart of Hoya Forest. If you enjoy delving into such bone-chilling tales on the Nightside Archive, don't forget to let us know in the comments where we should explore next. Until then, stay curious and stay safe.